Hi. By now, it is already about 48 years since we conceptualized the Human Resources Development Department and HR function in the year 1974. The HRD Scorecard 2500, which was developed uh, about a decade ago, is based on nearly these 40 years of our implementation of HRD systems, practices, and examining the outcomes in various corporations in India and a few outside. In the last 10 years, we also trained a number of people as certified HRD auditors, essentially to use the HRD Scorecard 2500. Now, in this short video, I'd like to once again present the HRD Scorecard 2500 as a great diagnostic tool. It's a diagnostic tool to help corporations to find out where they should put their effort, which aspects of human resources development they need to put their effort on. For the purposes of ease, these effort areas have been classified under 4 categories. The first category is HRD Systems and Processes. We have identified about 20 HRD systems and processes which make a lot of difference in terms of delivering results in a variety of areas. What these results would mean, I will talk a little later, which is given in the fourth part of it is impact of HRD. The 20 HRD systems and processes include 12 HRD systems which are sensitive to the current reality of the pandemic, the post-pandemic, as well as the during the pandemic reality. These include competency mapping for current as well as future, work management systems and manpower planning, which is aligned with the vision and strategy, recruitment, which need to be scientific and aligned, induction and integration, all levels, as well as focusing on culture, performance management, which includes creating a sense of ownership and performer focused PMS, coaching and mentoring, both for performance coaching as well as potential for future leadership coaching, leadership development using 360-degree feedback and ADCs, focusing on agility and resilience, employee motivation and engagement, focusing on rewards and recognition, career development and versatility, which includes multi-skilling, which is recognized as the most important part during the pandemic, training and learning, work from home or remote working management, self-renewal systems and organization development. These 12 HRD systems constitute an important part of the HRD systems and process. And there are 8 processes we have identified, which include communication within the corporation as well as with families and community, employee engagement, quality orientation, customer orientation, efficiency orientation, entrepreneurial mindset, health, safety and environment, and corporate social responsibility. These 20 HRD systems and processes are an integral part, and these are likely to impact business results perceived in tangible as intangible ways. We'll come to that a short while from now. What are the business results and how are we measuring it and things like that. So in our first part of the HRD scorecard, these 20 HRD systems and processes are given 1,000 points, practically comprehensively covering everything. Then there are 5 categories of HRD competencies which you have identified. These 5 categories could be further broken into small ones, like there are about 10 competencies identified for HR people based on research both in India as well as global researchers, including those of Dave Ulrich, whose contributions are available in a multiplicity of books that he has published and talks of the global HR competencies. So we identified 10 competencies for HR managers, and top management roles as well as styles. We again identified about 10 different roles the top management need to perform and 3 different styles and 4 impact parameters of the top management, and the learning orientation of supervisory and managerial staff, development orientation of labor and workmen, and the credibility of the HRD department. So these are the 5 categories, the categories of competencies. So we perceived competencies as not only that of the HR staff, but also of the top management, of the line managers, of the employees, as well as the HR department. All these 5 together given about 500 points. In the third category, we have the HRD Values and Culture, where we identified about 25 different dimensions. 8 octopus values: openness, collaboration, trust, authenticity, proactivity, autonomy, confrontation, and experimentation. And in addition, leadership climate, motivational climate, communication climate, decision making, goal setting, control, direction, and supervision of work, shared values, quality orientation, rewards and recognition, information, empowerment, learning orientation, openness to change, corporate social responsibility, health, safety, and work satisfaction. I think these 25 dimensions are given 500 points again, almost 20 points each one, and so on. So these 3 sets of variables consist of the inputs that a company can decide. You invest in terms of building the HRD competencies of HR people, or line managers, or the top management, workmen, or the HRD department. You may decide to improve 12 HRD systems or 8 HRD processes, or you may also work on 25 octopus values and culture of organizations. So if you do all these, you can identify what are you good at out of these 20 plus 5 categories of competencies and 25 different areas. So out of these 50 areas, where do you need to put your effort? Which is good in your company, which is not so good in your company, can be identified through our process of HR audit. HR audit is a tool to identify strengths and weaknesses. But then our HRD Scorecard 2500, besides giving 1,000 points to HRD systems and processes, 500 to competencies, and 500 points to the culture and values, it also assesses the impact of all these on the talent management, intellectual capital, as well as financial and other tangible parameters. And the impact areas include 5 talent management areas. How well are you able to attract and acquire talent? How well are you able to acculturate the talent you have acquired and ensure their contribution? How well are you able to utilize the talent and add employee value addition? And competency development or skill building or development of your talent, and retention and separations management. So these are the 5 talent management areas where we see the impact. So if your impact is good as a result of HR systems and good HR competencies and HR culture, you may be attracting and acquiring the right talent, acculturating them fast to enable them to contribute faster, using their capabilities, building their competencies, and managing retention and so on. These are all talent management contributions, and we treat talent management here as a concrete kind of a result, as a result of your HR interventions, competencies, and culture building. We also identified 10 intellectual capital dimensions. This intellectual capital we have defined as a capital where you contribute to customer capital. So these are results can be in terms of the increased customer base, increased customer loyalty, and things like that. The second area of intellectual capital is impact on structural capital attributable to HR interventions. How well have you streamlined your structure? How have you made it cost sensitive, and things like that. The third one is contribution to human capital formation in the company. And the fourth one is the contribution to social capital. Fifth is a contribution to emotional capital. Sixth is contribution to relationship capital. And seventh is knowledge capital formation. Eighth is HRD system strategies and structure, also as a part of the intellectual capital. Earlier you view HRD systems as inputs. Here you view HRD system strategy and structure as output. HR competencies as an output, and values and culture as an output. So there are 10 intellectual capital, invisible capital, which build the employer brand or company brand or organizational brand and things like that. So these are very important parts of the impact on the organization. And the last five tangibles include cost reduction attributable to HR, degree of financial literacy among people, increases in sales for employees attributable to HR, market value to book value attributable to HR, and innovations and knowledge including patents, R&D and things like that. So friends, this is a very comprehensive way of looking at HRD. So our HRD Scorecard 2500 is a great diagnostic tool. It tells you where to focus in terms of the 12 HR systems or the 8 HR processes, or which of these 25 HR values and culture, organizational culture dimensions we are good at, which are the ones which you are weak at, and which of the competencies of the HR staff or the top management or the line managers or the workmen or the HRD department which you need to improve, so that you can achieve good results in terms of managing your talent, managing your invisible capital, and managing your tangible assets and so on. So this is a very comprehensive kind of a diagnostic tool that we have. The comprehensive tool is to be administered through a process of HRD audit. However, we also have simple questionnaires available, a 250 to 300 item questionnaire, which if it is responded by most of the managerial class, you are able to get at one stretch with very little investment a diagnosis of the company. This is a fairly straightforward diagnostic tool, and then you can decide where to put in your effort and so on. So this is a very interesting kind of tool, and I've been comparing globally available experiences, including I think in recent past there was an excellent organizational guidance system proposed on the basis of 30 years of research by Dave Ulrich and team from University of Michigan. I find their 185 cell matrix with 4 pathways they have identified and 5 result areas focusing on financial parameters, customer parameters, strategy, employees and social change. When I look at these 185 cell matrix and look at also I think what we have been doing in the last few years on the HRD Scorecard 2500, I find I'm very proud to say that we are very close to each other, although our approaches are different. One is based on solid research at Michigan University, and we are based on 48 years of experience working with companies, with interspersed with once in a while research studies, including those of studies conducted at XLRI and various other institutions, and the experiences of National HRD Network, Academy of HRD and so on. So friends, I am communicating this mainly to impress on you that the HRD scorecard based on derived out of HRD audit or using the HRD audit questionnaires is a great tool, is a great diagnostic tool for deciding your priority HR interventions and deliver both tangible as well as intangible results. I hope you will make use of it. Many of you will read either the book or visit us and go through some of our certification programs. We have given certification programs in Malaysia, in Sri Lanka, and of course a large number of them in India, and we look forward to serving more and more of you using this framework. And lastly, I want to say our framework is very sensitive to the emergency situations like the pandemic we are going through. I'm sure you will enjoy going through this and benefit a great deal out of this. Thank you very much.